Honestly, how I got in this job is simply because I dedicate my life in order to, and my services and my knowledge and wisdom, in order to better others. That's my quote. God gives me knowledge and wisdom not for the betterment of myself, but for the betterment of others. Simply, my life is a platform for others to see what God can do inside of you and for you. So therefore, that's how I got this job, because it's my purpose. Yes, I did go to school, college, got a variety of different accolades, going to get my master's. At the end of the day, the reason why I'm doing this work is because that's what I'm put on this earth to do. I want to make sure other youth had the opportunity to better themselves and have their voice heard in order for them to succeed, not just on the basic level, but far past. Let's be the standard, not the statistic.
I like that. So you would have found yourself here with them without the degree.
Yes, so one thing about me is I'm going to make it happen, whether I have somebody or whether I don't. I'm going to make sure I'm in those rooms. Simply because if you yourself don't ensure your own success, you cannot complain when you're not successful. So therefore, it doesn't matter how many barriers are in your way, how many obstacles you got to jump over. If you want something, you have to find a way to do it. And not everybody has that same opportunity. Some people don't have that same mindset. So therefore, sometimes that's one of the biggest things that we have to push and we have to realize within the foster care system. Yes, I may be an anomaly, and I say that very humbly, but at the end of the day, the reality is I made sure I was good, but not everybody has that same. Not everybody also has a circle around them to ensure that their success. I had the same social worker since I was 2. From 2 to 20, I had the same exact social worker. I don't know, not one person that ever had that. So it's just certain things, and so therefore I want to be that support for someone else.
So it all started when I was 2. My mom needed help, and then it went from there. Asked my father. He did not help, so therefore she went to the only other help she understood, which I do not resent her. It's very humbling, the fact that she would go and ask for help to this nature. Says a lot about her character, so I respect her for that. But that is where the story begins, far from where it ends. So I don't remember much about my elementary school experience. We moved to another house in Paducah around my 5th grade year. I don't remember much from my elementary school years before 5th grade, because that is when I was enduring physical abuse, mental abuse, seeing domestic violence, seeing a lot of things that youth should not be seeing. I'm not even a youth at that point. I'm a kid. So therefore, I just wanted to suppress everything. And at that point, that's what I did. Be the happy-go-lucky kid, forget the negatives, be the brightness that everyone oh so joyfully needs. And so moving from there, like I said, 5th grade, moved to a new school district, met some new people, then moved forward to 6th grade year. That is where I re-entered the foster care system. And during this time, I was with an all-white family. And moving forward through the story, 7th grade year, I go to another foster family. This foster family was an all-black, love them to death. I did have my downfalls there. I was bullied there. It was three biological sons and 4 other foster care kids. So therefore, that had its experiences. Like I said, I was bullied. But to this day, I love everyone there to death. I still go home and see them. Move forward. So after I leave there, I go back in with my mom, 7th grade with her. During this time, 7th grade through 8th grade, this is where I endured a lot of humbling experiences. This is when I lived in a house that had no water. We're sitting here buying jugs of water just to try and take a shower. And at that point, it's not a shower, it's a wash up. Thinking back, it's like, dang, that's crazy. That's a little disgusting. But using water jugs to fill the back of the toilet up, just to use the restroom, just to flush. Only being able to flush when you have to do extra things and not your basic flushing of the system. And then you're, like I said, pouring water on washcloths just to take a wash up. Going to school, I remember vividly this one time where I was literally just walking down the street after I walked outside the gate to walk to the bus, looking at my clothes like I've got holes in them from the mice in the house, eating them up. In the house, the kitchen floor caving in, literally hole in the kitchen floor. So during that time, that was very humbling, very rough experience. As I look back, roaches everywhere. So it's just looking back, it's humbling. That's all I can say. It's humbling and sad to realize some youth do face this. This is their reality. But moving forward, my freshman year, college, so my mother did struggle. My mother struggled with addiction. My father struggled with addiction. We had one of the person in our family struggle with addiction. So addiction was nothing new. Well, during my freshman year, that's when I re-entered the foster care system. I was at home, or I was at school, I'm sorry. And I went to a new school that year as well. As a school, I come home, a note. It's not even a note. It's manila envelope that she ordered a SIM card, and that's what the SIM card was in. I remember this so vividly. Still have the picture to this day of it. And with that being said, it literally stated, "Hello, I'm your mom. I've left, went back to rehab. Your social worker's coming to get you. You're going to the old foster family." Just like that. And I just remember instantly breaking down, screaming and crying. Coming home, no one's there but a note that says, "You're going back in foster care. Your mom's not here. She's going to rehab." So I went to the neighbor's house. We talked it up, chopped it up, cried. I played this little Wii sword game until my social worker came and got me. She took me to the family. And I will say that is one of the darkest times of my entire life. During this, I had a 1.1 GPA when I first went back to school. That was also the time when I thought about suicide. And I remember sitting in this corner in the back of the house with a knife in my hand, just want to end it all. But then I realized I have two nieces in my life, Nakaya and Dariana, and those two women, little girls, they're my everything. And so with that, I remember them, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do it because they need a positive male role model. They need somebody they can look up to. They need someone that they can ask, "Hey, how do I get to do this and do that?" So now, to this day, that is my mindset. Do everything I can so they have someone they can look up to, and they know it's possible. It doesn't matter where you've been. It matters where you're going. Use your past as a stepping stone to your future instead of a hindrance in your past. So that's one of the biggest things I've learned in my life is don't use your life, your past, as a hindrance. Use it as a ladder to success, because you can use that as your steps as you climb the ladder, because you're getting more tools along the way. So as I speed forward, that was my freshman year. Went back in, white family. Sophomore year, I go to another family, and with that, I went to a relative placement. That was not a fun experience at all. So that I leave that experience and go to this white home, single white mother, German lady, love her to death to this day. She's amazing. And the reason why I left there my senior year, so I was my junior year. Mess up. Basically was playing roughhousing with another foster kid, choked him, put a pillow over his face, was playing around with him, and I was like, no, I feel scared. So that's when I take full responsibility. I ruined a great situation. So then I went back to my cousins because I was under the impression that I was going back to a group home if I didn't. So I tried it out, didn't work again. Just didn't work. So then I moved, and I'm like, during that time, I was getting threatened with 14-day notice. If you don't know what a 14-day notice is, that means the foster parent can tell the social worker, you have 14 days to get this kid out of my house. And that's what it was. She kept saying, hey, 14 days, 14 days. So I'm like, you know what? I've heard 14 days enough. I'm going to give you 14 days. And so I called my social worker, hey, she keeps threatening me with it. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. And that's exactly what she did. And I told her, preferably, get me out of Paducah, because I was someone I held, to this day, I hold my family, all their problems on my shoulders, especially when it comes to my nieces. So I wasn't able to grow personally because I was too busy trying to be that person for my family. So I need to get out of there. I went to male father, African-American male up in Radcliffe, went to North Hardin. And that was an amazing experience for me because I didn't have a father at the time. Shout out to him, RIP to him. He did pass away. But yeah, and from there, I left there, went on to college. She visited me at college, recommitted at the age of 18, aged out at 21. Had a variety of different accolades. I was Mr. Kentucky State University, Omicron Delta Kappa National Leadership Honor Society. You have SAC, Student Athlete, Advisory Committee. I was one time placed third place in conference for track and field. And I started that my freshman year. Track and field was my everything because that was my outlet. A lot of these kids don't have outlets, so they use sports as their outlets because that's the only way they can feel without having to feel. Honestly, that is one of the best things. So I went on and continued that in college. I've had an amazing experience. Like I said, going to get my master's now. God is good, and I want to make sure that y'all hear me that God is the strength. God is my strength. If it wasn't for God, I would not be where I am today. At the end of the day, God has given me the mindset to change my perception of my past, to view it as a light. And he has given me the mindset to pour back into youth, acknowledge and accept my past, my negative, my physical abuse, mental abuse, bullying, seeing people take pills, struggling with addiction, suicide, continuous suicide from attempts within my family. Just overall, God has allowed me to view all this in a positive light. It allows me to be more relatable to our youth in the community because so many people try and be there for youth and they don't know how to be there. They don't know how to be there because they've never been there. So what better person to be there for youth than someone that's been there literally and been in their shoes. So I thank God for allowing me the ability to truly and honestly change my outlook on it and be there for youth and use my testimony to what God can do for you. I didn't achieve any of this on my own. There's no way in hell, I'm just going to be real with y'all, there's no way in hell I would accomplish this on my own. God has been the person guiding my life, guiding my person, and giving me purpose and allowed me to realize this is why I'm here on this earth. It's to give back, pour back, and inspire the youth to overcome. One of my quotes are, God gives you knowledge and wisdom, not for your own understanding, but the betterment of others. So that simply means you gain your experiences, rough life. It's not for your own self. It sucks, but endure it because that makes you more relatable to the youth. And if you're not pouring back into the youth, that's a problem. That's what's wrong with our society now. But so that's my life.